According to my next guest, an agent of influence with direct ties to the Chinese government is gaining influence and has gained influence within the Obama White House, even attending a 2011 state dinner for the president of China, participating in trade negotiations. Joining us now, the executive chairman of Breitbart News, Steve Bannon. Steve, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Lou.
Extraordinary article.
Thank you.
The idea that this man would be an agent of influence, nestled in the circle around the president of the United States, is astounding.
Well, let's talk about why Robert Roche is important. The president's campaign is going to raise $1 billion in 2008 and 2012 online in cash and donations. 98% of this, as the president reports, is under $250. The vast majority of that's under $200, so it's not reported. We found out in a study done by the Government Accountability Institute that the chief website, Obama.com, is not even owned by the campaign.
Who owns Obama.com?
Well, as the campaign kind of tried to deny it first to mainstream media, it's owned by a guy named Robert Roche. Our systems engineers were able to deconstruct the president's apparatus and find out that Obama.com was owned anonymously. We found out it's owned by Robert Roche, an expatriate American living in Shanghai.
Living in Shanghai with apparently very close ties to the Chinese government.
He's chairman, CEO of a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange, who in their prospectus says all of their key assets, it's an infomercial company. But in China, American companies can't really own the underlying media assets. So he's in partnership with the Chinese government. His prospectus says he can't do anything. He can't make any real decisions, can't move money around, can't take cash out of the country. All the executive team are Chinese nationals. All of his board are Chinese nationals. The entire company. And by the way, when intelligence personnel look at this, they say these are the light footprints. You don't know what companies these guys have worked for, what schools they've gone to. So it's a type of operation infested with Chinese, not just foreign nationals, but guys from the Chinese Communist Party.
And what is the response? And I just want to say this very quickly. To read this article, go to Breitbart.com. Steve's article on Roche, the agent of influence, is there, and I commend it to you. It's important reading. What is the administration's response? What's the campaign?
By the way, when Newsweek magazine, when a major news network that hasn't come forward yet, who's been researching this, it's like, oh, Robert Roche, we never heard of him. You know, they have no comment. The other day, the New York posted an investigative article. They called the campaign for comment. They go, Robert Roche, no comment. The biggest power table we've had was when the Chinese president came to Washington, D.C. 3 living U.S. presidents, chairman of Coca-Cola, chairman of GE, Teresa Heinz and John Kerry, the president of China, and Robert Roche was at the head table. So this guy has tremendous influence inside the White House. He's been in China with Joe Biden. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows what he really does. And the fact that he owns this website that drives traffic to the donate page of the Obama campaign has to be looked at.
And Steve Bannon has started the process at Breitbart.com. Again, Steve, fascinating article. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.